So as men, how do we move past unresolved traumas, past experiences, or failed relationships?
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna tackle it. Is owning my shit first. You
Yeah,
know what I
there you
mean?
go.
I gotta own my shit.
There
You
you
know
go.
what I mean by owning that is meaning that I have to realize my part, good, bad, or indifferent, and do my own checks and balances.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they say sweep your porch before you try to sweep somebody else's porch.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And once I decide, okay, did I do my best? Right. And I've gotten to a point where I say, yeah, if I did my best, then anything that happens after that, it's just what it is. Where's the lesson? And if I didn't, I just have to say, hey, what can I do better so I can be better? You know what I'm saying? Especially as I get older, because right now I feel that there's no room for error being a single man. You know, there's no room for error right now. Any decision I make can put me at a time capsule where I may not be able to recover at this age.
Gotcha.
So that's how I move past it, by looking at myself, acknowledging what I did. Right. Even if I allowed somebody to do it to me, I still was in the presence of the bullshit.
Yeah.
So that's how I get over it.
Yeah. And I was gonna say that too, about whether traumas in self-inflicted or did people bring them on me. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big point you made of, like, if you, even if I was part of the problem, which 9 times out of 10 you probably are, knowing that I did it, I think I can fix it. But it's like somebody else did something to you, and you're not dealing with them no more, so you're not gonna talk to them. You're not having any kind of communication with them. How in the hell do you get past that? I can talk to Vince about it.
Yeah.
That's not. I still haven't talked to that person.
Yeah.
So
No
it's
doubt.
like, that's a sticky one right there, brother Vince.
Yeah, I know it, man. I know it.
Right. Say it. I want to hear your thoughts on that, bro.
I mean, I feel like I was gonna say the same thing. You got the MJ album up over your shoulder over there.
Hey, man. My man.
You know what I'm saying?
This nigga got, hey, don't forget about the tiger now. The tiger set it off. The nigga had a tiger on his leg. Come on, bro. That shit was hard, man. Nigga had a tiger on his leg with the white suit on, bro. Come on, man.
Boy.
But it just starts there. It starts with that self accountability, and really, like anything, I just see myself for years, or even going into like a new relationship or whatever. I would just be like, oh, she did this, and this to me, and da 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 da, and giving the new girl the whole game. You know what I'm saying? Just blabbering off, where my triggers are and whatever it is. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even really take a break between these two people to even focus on what I did to, all the arguments and toxicity just build up. You know what I'm saying? I can't be mad at, at this or that, because at the end of the day, that always that one intuition, because we always have it. There's always that one little voice in your head that kind of gives you an out or lets you know when you about to cross the line. We just play with fire until, you know what I'm saying, those are those self-inflicted traumas. You know what I'm saying? And then the ones that are the traumas that are put on us by other people is just when we have to realize, we have to also understand you were helpless in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Somebody was supposed to be there for you. That means that somebody that's close to you or whatever it is wasn't doing it. And that's not to lay blame on people or whatever, but that's just your self-forgiveness. That's just, look, you didn't understand. It was what it was at the time. Forgive yourself at that time for not being able to speak up for yourself or take care of yourself. Then when you face those types of things, you start the whole full circle healing process.
Man, and you know what? You're right. Because let me tell you something. The thing that held me bound to a situation which was a marriage that didn't work out, was the fact that I felt like there was a guilt for me not forgiving myself. There were times I knew I should have left, right? I couldn't forgive myself that I didn't listen to myself.
Yeah.
That was probably, so I had to let that go. You know what I mean? I had to let that go. And that's what helped me get past the trauma too. I wanted to add, because he said something about that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vince. How you tackle that?
I mean, I think before you can move on to something new, man, you should always do a little self-reflection and realize what role you played in whatever happened. You know what I mean? Whether it was good or whether it was bad, you got to own your shit, man.
Yeah.
Right. You got to be able to own your shit. And as men, a lot of times we'll suppress that shit, man, and then move on to the next. And then that shit rears, its little ugly head when it all boils down to you didn't, like I say, you didn't handle that. You didn't self-reflect and figure out, the cause of that shit before you moved on to the next person.
Right. What they say, getting under just to get over. You know what I mean? That's
right.
bad. It's a bad thing to do. Men and or women need to definitely under over stuff. It's a mask. It's a Band-Aid over a stitch.
Yep.
It's a Band-Aid over a stitch. A Band-Aid over a stitch. What's going on? Hey, check this out. Be accountable for what you bring it to the table. Sorry about that. What's going on, everybody? We had date night. We back at it again. Another night. I said I want to bring something a little different this time. How y'all doing today? Look, check this out before I even start. Y'all already know what it is. This is not a podcast. I mean, it's not a podcast, right? This is just a streaming platform. What we do is we bring people that may want to come on and just kind of voice their opinions and tell us a little bit more about, their views on dating. Anything you want to talk about. We got the chat popping. And guess what? I see some people in the chat right now. I see some people looking in. Won't you just hit the share or the like button? Let's go ahead and move this one out. Because guess what? Tonight, let me tell you what I'm doing now. I got two guys. You got a married man. You got a single man. I'll be representing the single man. And you got the married man. I got my man. He's back in the building, Mr. Sledge. He's a married man. And guess what? I also brought a woman on, right? This particular woman, let me tell you something. And we'll talk about this. Matter of fact, man, I have this love-hate relationship. You know what? I ain't even going to say hate. I'm going to say dislike in some cases, right? But guess what? I invited her on because I do value her opinion. She has a nice platform. And guess what? I'm going to go ahead and let her tell y'all a little bit more about that platform. Miss Donna, tell everybody what you got going on, lady.
Hey, good evening. What's up, everybody? So thank you, sir. I appreciate the invite tonight.
Absolutely.
So my platform is Real Life Relationship Growth. Been doing it for about 2 years. Right now, we're doing some renovations, made some changes. So this is not us anymore. This will not be us anymore. In the next couple of weeks, waiting for some things to come in, and I'm creating a comfort zone, a studio to do this the right way. So I always tell everybody when I start out, I am not a professional.
Right.
I'm not a relationship professional. I'm a Black woman living this life, enjoying it, doing the damn thing the best I can, right? So we just come together because we're building relationships. Now, my platform deals with not just singles and dating, and like Mark has, he has some married men on here. But we deal with the whole gamut of the family relationships and building.
There you go.
That starts with the male and the female, the mother and the father, the husband and the wife.
Right.
And we spread off from there. So we talk about everything from in-laws to work to sex to everything. So I'll be back on live, hopefully, like I said, in a couple of weeks. The studio is still doing this thing, made some nice physical changes. So I'm ready to get back at it.
Right. Yeah, and we appreciate you. It's been a minute since we did some content together, but guess what? She's gonna get it back together. We're gonna have a studio. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and answer you. I'm gonna answer your text message on live. Yeah, you need to come over here and see what I got. I do have it set up. This right here is real simple and easy. We'll put it together for you. So I did see it. I just saw it actually. So
yeah.
We're gonna have a whole new studio set up for you.
I was doing it, and I was like, something needs to give, something needs to change, something needs to get better. Right. So I said, let me shut it down for a minute. Right. The page is still live though. The Real Life Relationship Growth renewed page on Facebook, Real Life Relationship Growth on YouTube. So go and check us out, subscribe and follow, all that good stuff.
Gotcha. What's going on, Ms. Harvey? We got some people checking in, Ms. Harvey. What's happening? I see you out there. Hey, Joy, what's up? Where you behind at, man? What the hell we doing? She got Donna right here. But look, check this out. I'm gonna go ahead and bring my man in, right? And look, y'all seen him before. Guess what? I've been doing a men series. Ladies, y'all always, you know, when I started my platform, I had a lot of females that came on, and women used to always say, Mark, you need to have men on. You know, all this stuff y'all be doing sometimes, you know, the Charlie Brown, right? And so guess what? I still listen to it though. Obviously, I listen to Charlie Brown, right? Because I end up bringing a man on. And guess what? I decided to bring my man on again, Mr. Sledge, and he'll tell you a little bit more about it. And then we're going to go ahead and talk about what we're doing tonight so we can get into it. I see everybody kind of tuning in right now. What's up, brother? What's up, Sledge? You got to get him right. You got you? We can't hear you. Kind of like, go ahead, yeah, sit your mic out. But look, check this out. Go ahead and get right. Let me know when you're back in. I can hear you. Okay, hold on for a second. Let me put them in the back. Okay, look. So check this out. Look, that's what happens when you go live. We don't edit nothing here. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do what we do. We're gonna sit here and you're gonna pay attention to what we're doing too. If you don't, shame on you. Shame on you. But look, check this out. While we're waiting on my man to go ahead and get back straight. Hey, Sledge, give me a thumbs up when you're ready to go back there. I can see you, brother. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready to rock. Okay, boom. You ready? Nah, man. You might have to bounce back in, brother. All right. Hey, so look, check this out. All right, so Donna, tell us. Okay, so real quick, tell us a little bit more about you. What's your status? What's your status? We're gonna ask because you're gonna ask us some stuff, and I gotta answer. So we're gonna ask you first. Let's get a Donna background. What's your status?
You know, I'm all for it. I am single. I'm 52. And I am single. I am divorced. Been divorced for some years. But that is my status.
Right. And so how long you say you've been divorced? So right now, because I know I want to make sure we get a clear understanding who Donna is before she asks these questions to us. So Donna, what is your view on dating and relationships at this point? Are you optimistic, pessimistic, or how do you feel about today's dating and a relationship situation?
I feel like, and I've always felt like, even when relationships did not go quite right for me, the relationships, I think relationships between a man and a woman, dating, marriage is the most beautiful connection that God has ever created, that God created. So I love the thought of love, relationship, marriage, the realness of it, the ups, the downs, all of it. Life can be tough. That does not, relationships are not set aside from being tough. So I'm very optimistic. I'm very optimistic.
If it's one thing, what is one thing? Because right now I'm trying to give a clear picture of where you at. Because I don't want nobody to see what I do. I like to cover not only my ass, CYA, but the asses that sit down in front of me, right? The reason why I'm doing I say that is because I want to make sure that, you know, Donna's not a bitter person. She's very optimistic. Now she has some strong viewpoints as well, right? So at least we're gonna try to get a balanced Q&A from her while my man gets set up. Let me see if my man ready. Vince, what's up, brother?
What's up, bro? Can you hear me?
There we go. We in there. What's up, Vince?
All right. Ain't not to it. How you doing?
Hey, everything good. Hey, look, check this out. My man Vince, like, he's married. How long you been married, Vince?
24 years now.
24 years. 24 years.
Yeah, it'll be 25 in December.
Okay, and then so right now we're doing this too for Donna to get a little bit of understanding of what you got going on. She pretty much know a little bit more about me, so we're gonna just kind of do a few things where she can kind of get an idea as far as where you are. So real quick, okay, so you've been married for 24 years. Okay, guess you didn't know how long you've been knowing your actual wife at this point, total.
I don't know the exact amount of years, but
how old were you?
Like fifth grade.
Fifth grade, right? Fifth grade.
Yeah.
So we say fifth grade is roughly 10. Donna, you
about 10 years. Yeah.
About 10. You about 10 in fifth grade, though, Donna.
Yeah.
Right. So you 10. right? See, that's longer at time.
Well, you even knew, and she even knew who they were.
Right.
It
Right.
Right. It was a long road to get to where we are now.
Oh,
Right.
I can imagine.
Okay.
Long road.
So Sledge is he's, as you see, he's in his place of work right now, right? He's in the truck, right? So he's married and he's a truck driver.
Okay.
Give you more context now. He's a truck driver now. And and how often are you on the road, Sledge? How often are you on the road, bro?
Well, I'm on the road all week, man, Sunday to Saturday. So I'm usually home for like 2, maybe a day and a half every week. 5 days on, 2 days off.
Right. So I'm giving you a little bit more context. Also, okay, here we go. A little bit more. This is for Donna too. All right. I feel like this is a game show, y'all. Really, I'm having fun with this. So Sledge, how many kids do you and your wife have currently?
Me and my wife have 4 kids together.
4 kids together. Okay, so he has 4 kids. They've been knowing each other for 35 years. He's been on the road. He's on the road Monday through what again?
Sunday through Saturday.
Sunday through Saturday. And you come home on what? On Saturdays?
Yeah, Saturday evening.
Saturday
morning, something like that.
Saturday morning. Okay, so you and your wife typically have 2 days.
That's pretty much all we got.
Okay, got it. So I want to give her as much information because she has some questions on the way. Now check it.
Okay, I can see it. I can see it working.
Yeah.
See the wheels spinning.
It's got the wheels spinning. And so, okay, so here's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna definitely start with Donna. You can start however which one based on the information. You already had some marriage questions or some things that may be pertaining to marriage, love, keeping things spicy, etc. Right? So wherever you want to start is on you. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we like I say, I'm in the front back seat, right? Like we're gonna sit back, let you answer away. Also, anybody that's in the chat that has a question, go on in the chat, right? We're on Facebook, we're on the Mark Weaver. If you're on YouTube, come on over. I want all questions in the chat. The men will answer, and then fellas, you got something for this young lady, we're gonna also ask her as well. So Donna, go ahead and start. We want to just kind of go ahead and get things started so we can see, what you're thinking and what kind of information we can give you.
Okay. So let me be clear. I'm addressing Vince.
Whoever you want to do. If you want to, go ahead.
Okay, I was just asking. Yeah. I want to make sure I'm clear where I'm getting started.
Wherever you want to go is ladies first. Ladies first. My y'all me sing that damn song. We said, "Ooh, go ahead, get your shit." Okay, go ahead. Get it out.
With my girl song, no Mark, for real.
Right. I let you get it off just a few minutes ago, so I did.
You did. I'm telling. Guess what? Yeah, that's the insider for those who don't know what that was.
Right. Go ahead.
Okay. So, Vince, is great. It's great meeting you. I've actually watched a few episodes, whatever we calling it. I watched a few and I've listened to you gentlemen chop it up, and I've made some comments here and there.
Yeah.
But just first of all, I want to say congratulations on 24 years. I gotta say that. Not a small feat, I'm sure. So and like I was saying when you guys were introducing 5th grade, y'all didn't even know who yourselves were at that point.
Not at all.
So which means y'all technically kind of grew up together.
We did.
Yeah. So I do have a question based on that. Being that y'all kind of grew up together, when y'all went off separate ways, I'm assuming high school graduation, y'all did y'all separate thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So were there any serious relationships once you start knowing what that really looked like? Was there any serious relationships that both of you all were committed to?
Yes, there were. It was a few. I know I had at least 3 serious ones. I don't know exactly how many serious relationships she had. I never really paid her relationships any attention.
And we don't want to know.
Y'all don't.
And plus,
we do. Y'all don't.
this is the thing. Even though we had serious relationships with other people, we would still find a way back to each other.
Yeah.
Some kind of way, we always did.
You came right to where I was going. Yeah. Because I personally, I do believe in soulmates.
Okay.
And I know that definition looks different for different people, but I do believe that there is someone in this massive world of people, that meshes just well with me, with So I do believe that. So, and it definitely sometimes is based on upbringing, different beliefs, being equally yoked. And just to be clear, equally yokedness does not necessarily mean y'all in the same religion, same spiritual. Equally yokedness means a lot. There's a lot of other things going on. So you guys pulling back to one another, no matter who was doing what and who was where, y'all came back to each other, So it's almost like that relationship that was meant to be, that was meant to be. So in that time frame, based on y'all's different growth and different experiences with other people, bringing that back to each other, would you say, Vince, that y'all were even growing stronger even without each other?
Yeah, I think we were. I think the good part about it is I think we did take time to find out who we were as people, as individuals, versus as a couple. You know what I mean? So, I was there for her whenever her thing ended. She was always there for me whenever my thing ended. And then we were there for each other in the middle, which we shouldn't have been, but whatever. So,
Hey, Vince, I got a question for you real quick. Speaking of which, because I had a discussion one time with a young lady, and we were talking about, are there some individual things you have that you feel like that are for you, and then you guys have your own thing together? Like, how does that work? How important to you is it to have your own small world and to join in with the larger world? Is that something that you do, or do you everything's combined together?
Yeah, well, I put it to you like this: with me being gone as much as I'm gone, she made her own friends aside from the people that we already knew or whatever. So she does things with her friends, and they hang out, they take trips, and they do whatever. And then we kind of mix that up too, because whenever I'm in town or whenever they feel like invite me on one of their girl things or whatever, I'm always the dude there, the husband. You know what I'm saying? The one guy sometimes. So we kind of always come back to it. But yeah, I do have things that I like, and I like to do. Because this is where I'm at all week long, alone. You see what I'm saying? I do things alone. So it's kind of when I get home, I'm waiting on seeing her and the kids and the family and getting back together. But I know sometimes when I come in, I'm interrupting whatever flow she's got going on.
Right. So let me ask you a question. Do you think that all your friends are her friends as a husband, and all her friends and your friends? Are there some you introduce, or are there some that you keep to yourself? Because I know sometimes some women may feel that if you're not all the way in, if they're not all the way into your world, including all your friends or most of your friends, they may feel a certain kind of way. How does that work? Or if that's not something that you experience, what is your thoughts on that?
Okay, well, pretty much all of my friends she knows, because we've been together for so long. And I don't really have a lot of new friends. You know that. You know how long me and you've been friends, but I got a lot of old friends, so she knows all of them. Now, some of her friends, them, I say 10, 12 year long friendship or whatever. That's how long their relationships. So they're still kind of new, but I know all of them. I do think I have maybe one or two that she don't really know, a whole lot about, but I talk about them. So. But yeah, I think that's important. I think it's important to have your own relationships with different people, and you gotta have that.
Yeah, Donna, let me ask you your opinion on that real quick. So let me frame it another way. So you with a guy, or you're married, right? Or you with a guy. Do you feel that you have to know all his friends at a certain point, or do you feel like it's okay for men to have a pocket of friends that you don't really care to really even think about? Like, or do you feel like you got to know everybody that he knows? from a woman's perspective?
Yeah, I think it's important that we both know what our inner circles look like. I think it's important. I don't, and I'm gonna be totally honest and transparent. Right. I used to have a problem with the male female friend dynamic. And that was my own hangups. That was the own things I had to work through and deal with. But now, as I've sat on some couches, counseling, y'all, I always throw that out. Major important. After I've done that and looked at the different perspectives of things, having those friendships should not be broken down. They have their boundaries not to be broken, and that's controlled by the people inside the circle, not the people outside the circle.
Right.
But I do think it's important that I know his network of people, and he knows my network of people. Because at the end of the day, it's the two of us. So whatever the outside sources, even though if that's your home girl from middle school, you know, grew up together. But at this point now, I'm your wife. You know, we're in this thing. So that means
what about relationships? What about boyfriend girlfriend relationships? Do you feel like you have to know everybody that he knows?
It depends on the level where we are, but not married. It depends on the level of where we are. If we've gotten, because sometimes there's some expectations in boyfriend, girlfriend that should not be, because we're not there yet. We're building this thing. And those things we have to acquire. Like I'm acquiring friendships and relationships and more of you, just like you're acquiring more of those of me. But boyfriend girlfriend dynamics, not quite. Not quite.
So look, Vince, I'm switching and we're gonna go back to you again, but real quick, Vince, is it anything you wonder, right? I know you've been married, or you probably hear things. Is there a certain thing that you would say that you would probably would like to ask Ms. Donna, coming from a man that's married, and as far as the pulse and whatever things that you probably thought about or wondered? She may be able to give a little insight as far as a woman that's been single. Any questions around that as far as the modern day woman?
You know me, I got my little notebook. So
all right.
Oh, there you got his notebook. There you go. Boom.
Oh.
She did hit the it's coming back. Vince.
Back.
Yeah, okay, got you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have some questions for you single people. Okay. And we can do this however y'all want, like true or false or whatever. You know what I mean? Okay. So number one, the swipe culture. And I think, man, you talked about that, Mark.
Okay, explain that to everybody. To explain the swipe culture. That's right.
Like social media, dating apps, things like that.
Got you.
Okay, so is it true that the swipe culture gives an illusion of having too many options?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
She answered that one quick.
Yeah. I don't even think you got that one out your mouth already. Do you think the swipe? Yes. God damn, she showed the goddamn quick trigger, goddamn quick drama grow over there. Right. 6 shooters. Okay, so go ahead, Vince. Go ahead, because I got to pick it back up.
What I'm gathering from it is it gives an illusion like it's always like it's always another option, or it's plenty of fish in the sea. You shouldn't just settle for this one person, or as soon as something don't go your way or something, you're like, I can just swipe you away. Yeah, that's what.
It takes away the being personable and learning and getting to know somebody. There are too many options. There are too many options. I'm gonna tell y'all real quick. The online dating thing was not for me, right? My sister was like, "Hey, why don't you try?" And I was like, "Nah." My niece was like, "Just try it." So I created a dating profile, and it was overwhelming. And I know this is just not only my case. It was overwhelming. Not only were there so many guys and men, coming at me, there were too many. And sometimes I was sitting looking at that thing and I'm like, nope. No.
Going down the list.
So yeah. It takes. That lasted for me maybe about 2 weeks, and I shut that thing down.
Let me tell you something. I said this before, and I'm gonna always say that them dating apps, man, it's like ordering pizza. You know what I mean? You get hot and ready. You know what I'm saying? Seems like you're ready. You know that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But I do hear women say that, you know, when it comes to like dating apps, you know, some of the good brothers too that I probably know on some, they get drowned out because they get so much traffic. So much traffic in the woman's mailbox for fellas. If you on a dating app, let me give you some words of encouragement. If you all right, let me help you out. Just keep swiping away, bro. I know she look good. I'm sorry you can't get to her, bro, but she is floated. Right? We have just solved the mystery. Why you may think you're a cool brother, you may think you got it all together, but guess what? She might not be able to see you because there's a whole bunch of swamp niggas in there.
And sisters, let me back that up with some advice. All of them fine. Everybody's fine. It ain't just you. It's not just you. All of them fine.
Right. So number two, true or false? Okay. I want to know how y'all feel about this. Okay, so when it comes to dating, people want exceptional partners, even though most people themselves are just average. True or false?
True.
Okay, I'm gonna say in a lot of cases, yeah, and I'm gonna say why. I think because whenever somebody's in that state, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the wood and say they're really trying to pull from somebody, right? If someone outbalances them and gives a certain type of energy where they're lack, guess what they're going to do? They're going to want to try to, and a lot of people are, I'm going to say this, a lot of people are at a state where when it comes to relationships and dating, I can see where some women and men can definitely lose part of who they are, right? Because it deflates them by going through the whole dating space, right? And so since it deflates and they lose something, then what they do is they're going to expect more than what they're giving because they don't have a whole lot to give. So they want you to give them more in order for them to be able to hang on to at least some type of life preserver for them. You get what I'm saying? If that makes sense. So I think to a certain extent for a lot, and according to most people that's in the dating pool, quote unquote, I can say that a lot of people may fall up under that due to the fact of what dating and relationships look like.
Okay.
Donna?
Gotcha.
Then you got some on that because that was his question. You got some on that one.
Yeah. So repeat your question again because I like to be thorough.
Okay. I figured you was ready to go. You sitting on go over there all the time. So okay, so true or false, people want exceptional partners even though most people themselves are just average.
Yeah. I definitely believe it's true. Because like Mark was saying, sometimes people look for those things in others that's not even in themselves, and they look to be lifted, and they look to be, and then of course nobody, you know how they say you pointing at somebody and you have all these fingers pointing back at you.
Right.
It's hard unless you've dealt with it and done the work. It's hard to take accountability for some people, and even if they know what they are doing. Oh, then I had to really kind of learn and look at it. Some people don't even know what they're doing. They don't even realize really what they're doing. Why? Because they have not dealt with themselves. They're looking for somebody else to be what they want, you know, but they're not even that themselves yet.
Okay.
I always say yes. Always in progress.
Right. All right. Vince, okay, go. Vince, you got one more for us?
I got two more.
Oh, go ahead. Okay, so let's do this. Drop that one, and then we're gonna come back to the next one on it because I want to get Donna back in there because the women want you to since the church, it looks like the church is people coming in after collection. we can put Donna on the spot. All right. So matter of fact, you know what? That's your one, Vince. Let's come back around. Let's go in a rotation. Go ahead, Donna. What other questions do you have, either for the single man or the married man?
Okay. So you guys kind of addressed it a little bit. I was going to start out with that time. What does that time look like? you know, for a married and a single man. But
Okay.
but a question I do have is kind of on the top of my page. I was just kind of
Right.
going.
Right.
So Vince and any other man on here that's married or committed, what
Right.
did she actually do? What was it about her? What did she do to make you say, "Oh yeah, that's mine.
That's mine.
That's mine. I'm looking at that. That's mine."
That's crazy. Me and her talked about that the other day. I can't really
Shout out Tiffany. Shout out Tiffany.
Hey Tiff, I don't even know you get what's up there.
I mean, I can't really just pinpoint one thing. It was a lot of things. I knew I could trust her for one. She knew stuff about me that nobody else knew, and likewise, I knew stuff about her that nobody else knew. And I could just, it was just the comfort level and the ease I felt whenever we were around each other. You know, we could be with 100 other people, but the only thing that mattered was right there.
Yeah. Yes,
So
ma'am, Tiff.
Yeah, I just knew.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So Mark, I'm gonna ask you that question.
Okay.
Coming from a little bit of a different perspective. Like,
okay, go ahead. I see everybody in the chat. We're gonna go through these questions in a minute, but go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say they build
we're gonna
up.
go through. We're gonna run through them. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
So when before you even, of course, get to the point of marriage, like what makes you stop and say, all right, I'm gonna work on this one right here.
You know what? Okay, so I'm gonna set one even back. Being married before, I would probably say, and I'm gonna move it forward. I would say at the time, I think, subconsciously, I think I kind of did it based upon what I felt someone could help bring stability in my situation, right? Because I was a single father, so I had 2 kids, right, 2 boys, right, and so now I go from living La Vida Loca, right, to going to parent teachers conferences. You know what I mean? So and so for me, you know, that is how I did the first one, right? So now I can tell you moving forward, I can definitely tell you how would I know that she's the one, because she's going to compliment me. And what I mean by, and I'm going to compliment her. I want to be inspired to compliment her, right? And she's going to be inspired to compliment me, right? And what I mean by compliment, meaning that all my ideas, even the bad ones, you challenge the bad ones, at least she considers and be where, like, everybody has departments, right? I feel like in marriages, relationships, everybody has a department. We're gonna because most corporations have different departments that help the matter run, right? So I'm gonna work in my department as being the secure, the provider, and she's gonna inspire me to want to do that, and then for her, she's gonna compliment me by being the nurturer, the person that has the ideas that I will listen to, fellas. Sometimes that's very important to listen, because you didn't did it before. You didn't try to do some shit, and she told you don't do it, but you did it any damn way, and you know what happened? It fell apart, and she had to come back and pick up the pieces. So listen, fellas. So I gotta have a woman that I know that she is balanced, and I would consider what she says, because I know she's balanced, because I know it's not gonna come from a more it's not gonna come from an emotional standpoint. It's gonna come from a logical standpoint, and I'll know that's the one for me, because when I date, courting, marriage, I'm going to see all those qualities before I even get to the marriage part.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, you said something key though, Mark. You said something key, man. The inspired part, because she inspired me. She inspired me to get my ass up and go to work every day, because I ain't want to hear that shit when them bills come.
Yeah, damn.
You know what I mean? That was all the inspiration I needed.
Right. It's all the inspiration you needed. So look, let me run through this right quick. And actually, they don't have abandonment issues, because you will need to say, "Baby, I'll be back once I clear my head." Yeah, I think that was more so about yeah. You're right. Abandonment issues and stuff like that. Having to secure someone, that's the worst thing. That's the worst thing a man. For me, I'm not in a position to try to secure anyone at this point in my life because it takes too much energy, and you got to have at least 70% of it done before I even step foot.
Yep.
Oh yeah, 70%. The other 30 I can help by me being securing you, me doing the things I need to do because that builds security. But for someone that has a deficit below 50%, it's too much work. You didn't waste it 2 years. I ain't got 2 more years to be trying to raise nobody. Except my son, my youngest, and my daughter. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, yeah, we don't do insecurity situations like that. Let me see. Okay, so we got let me see. What qualities would make you say that's mine? Okay, I think damn, there she go. We hit that one already. Let me see. We see this one's about online dating. I did online dating off and on from 2011 to 2017 and formed some great relationships and friendships. I do not want to go that route next time around. Yeah. I mean, and then too, if you decide to do it, PSA, if you decide to do it, guess what? At least go find one of the people paying for some damn money. If you ain't got no damn skin in the damn game and you paying $5 a month, you're gonna meet some $5 money ass niggas. I'm just being honest, you know, so just being straight up. So get mad at yourself, right, for investing that $5, right? Get you a matchmaker if you're that serious. You know, they're a little pricey, but best believe that they'll help try to get you what you need to. Let's see if we got another one. What's up, Miss Trotter? Just giving a shout out to everybody. That's Miss Richardson. Her and Ghost going at it in the chat. Yeah, look at Corey B. Corey B, I know you be having some questions in here. What's up, Corey? Sherry Fulton? What's going on? You know, give everybody a shout out. Miss Martin, look, do something with them eyes. Put them eyes back in your head. All right. All right. So check it. So Donna, go ahead. No, I got one. What is okay, so there's this thing about an independent woman. So Donna is also a entrepreneur, right? She's the typical woman that most men say, well, she don't need me.
Yes.
But she don't need me ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? Right? Them dudes, right? She don't need me. That's a group that she don't need me, right? And now you've been entrepreneur. How long were you how long have you been in business for yourself?
Oh, it'll be 25 years next 25 year.
Years. Yeah. So we can agree that she's the independent woman that has her own business. So let me ask you a question. 2 questions. Well, one, did you find it hard to relieve some of that power that you have for someone else in relationships? Is that hard for you, or did you find it difficult at any point when you're meeting someone?
To relieve some of that power.
Right. Meaning that you're running so much, you got your own thing going, right? You're running so much, right? And so now you got to bring somebody else into the actual fold to be able to say, hey, baby, I got it. Right. Would you allow a man to who shows responsibility to say, I got it? Or is it hard for you to kind of let those reins go? Was it ever?
So there are 2 different spectrums we're looking at. But for one business, on the business side of it, if he came in and he could help improve the business, then maybe let me hear what you got to say. You know, but the second part of it, really, I welcome. I welcome a brother that can come into the home and relieve some stuff.
Right.
I have a 15-year-old nephew that I have custody of. That's my baby. He's been with me. And I'm an advocate believer that a woman cannot teach a boy how to be a man. So in those realms and things of that nature, but to be able to say, oh baby, what we gonna do? What should we do?
Right.
Oh man. Listen, I'm that woman that said submission is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Submission is my thing. I don't care how much money I make beyond what you make, but you got to come. I have to be able to trust that you can take care of things. So, is it hard? Let's go back to, is it hard to release the reins? It is hard when you're a woman that's done it for so long by yourself. I never adhere to the thought that I don't need a man, because I need a man. I want a man.
Right.
I need and I want one. But is it hard? Yeah. Especially if it's not looking like what I'm used to it looking like. I got this thing. I can spoil myself, but I want you to spoil me. I do. I can spoil myself, but I do. I want you to spoil me. So. Right.
So I got one. So this is for the fellas out here, and you tell me, how can so you done had a bad. You're out. You had a long week. You and your girls get out. It was rough. You may not have the best body language, right? You might have been irritated by, things of the challenges of running a business. So my question to you is that you're out, and you may want the attention, or you may not want the attention. In your opinion, how can a man say, what is the proper way to step to a woman that may be feeling that way? Because a lot of men are afraid when they see that, right? The boss thinks she don't even look at us. How can a man disarm? Tell the fellas how, or what works for you to disarm you at that point.
I'm gonna tell you, first thing not to do, don't call me boss lady. That bugs me to the nth degree, because that already tells me where your head is.
Right.
That already tells me where your head is. And I mean, it has this connotation to it. Like, I'm proud of you. You're the boss lady, but hey, boss lady, I've heard, you got this and you got that and what? And okay, thank you, sir. Swipe. We
got that damn swipe culture again.
but just being genuinely funny. Just being naturally yourself. Make a sister laugh.
Oh, that's the secret weapon.
That's the secret weapon. Ladies, I'm not gonna say too much. Just let them come with it naturally. Let's see what they got. But yes, if a brother can come
now the cornballs would be exposed, because they will say they'll try to be funny, and it's gonna come out real sideways.
But guess what though? You might be a cornball, but you making me laugh. I might be, I'm not gonna embarrass a man, even if I'm not attracted or whatever. I'm not gonna embarrass you and make you feel like, cause I know it takes a lot. I know it does take a lot. But just be confident in yourself, and even if I don't laugh, be like, girl, that was funny.
Hey, Sledge, to the fellas out there, shoot, how do you even in marriage, and even in a marriage, right? Your wife done had a long whatever, you've been gone. What are some of the ways you can disarm her to kind of help her, kind of get to a space of peace in her own?
Well, I try.
What do you do?
I try and be myself, man. Just try and be my clever, witty, bubbly personality self. You know what I mean? That shit has worked for me for 49 years.
Right.
So why try and reinvent the wheel? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it works.
It works.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you another thing. She'll use me a lot of times to disarm other women.
Right. Yeah. Single friends. Huh? Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so let's check this. I want to go back to the chat, guys. What does submission look like to you?
Yeah, I saw that. Let's pull that.
Sledge, as a married man, what does submission look like to you?
Submission to me looks like what I'm trying to attain every day of my life. for her to know that she ain't got to worry about shit.
Right.
Just the tone of her voice when we have our conversations in the morning. Because I told you we talk first thing in the morning, like 4 every morning. And just to hear the tone of her voice, if she's upbeat and she's happy, that means everything is good. You know what I mean? So she always told me she don't mind being submissive as long as, you know, I play my you know, my role or whatever. And she ain't never tried to step in my shoes, and you know what I mean, because she never had to. Never had to. So, yeah,
say that again.
To me, it just, I said she never tried to step into my. No.
Because she never had to.
No.
Because that means you was handling that, and she knew that.
Exactly.
Tiffany, yes, ma'am. Tiffany, I'm gonna keep saying Tiffany, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, shout out Tiffany. Shout out Tiffany. So look, check this out. So okay, so with that being said, to me, submission. Okay, here's the thing, right? I'm gonna go technical, and I'm gonna go based upon what I'm gonna do both ways. Okay, submission to me looks to me is that I think it comes in both sides, right? Right now, Sledge is submitting to the order of the house by providing, right? He has to submit everything, all his energy, into making sure, and all his money, all his wit, everything while he's out on the road, and he's submitting everything, not just him. He's submitting it to the household, right? Yep. He's turning it over, right? He's giving it over here. And so to me, submission looks like from both angles. And sometimes, like I mentioned before, the submission part of saying, hey, look, check this out. What do you think about this, baby? Right? Well, I think, fellas, consider. Then guess what? Once you work within that, you've submitted to her anyway. Right? You've heard the orders, what she wanted, right? And then you performed it, right? So and then she actually returns it back to a point where she falls up under the order of the husband. So it's a cycle. Everything's a cycle first, right? Let's start there. So for me, I think that's what it looks like. I think for me, that's what my idea works for me. I mean, was I the caveman beating my chest at one point? Is the way I was raised, you know, we were programmed to be quiet, sit down in that way, right? Yeah. But even those who said that still look at Granddaddy now. Granddaddy sitting back on the rocking chair. He ain't saying too much, you know. He let his wife, okay, baby, you got it. Am I right? You see it all the time, right? You see that. Now, when he was in his 20s and 30s, right, he was rocking out, right? He was doing what he wanted to do. We heard the stories.
Yep.
Yeah, he ain't that old nigga that you see in the rocking chair. He wasn't back. He wasn't like that 40 years ago, right? But now look at him.
Look at what, Mark? I'm gonna tell you what I did, Mark. I'm gonna tell you what I did. I flipped the script, man. I took everything that I was taught, everything that I learned about being a father, a husband, the head of a household, and I ripped all that shit up. And I just went my own way.
Yeah. He ripped it up.
Ripped it up, bro. I never pretended like I was the king of the castle and no shit like that. You know what I mean? Right. I ripped all that shit up, man. We just do our thing, bro. If she feeling the way, she gonna tell me how she feeling. And you know, vice versa.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think I just think that the balance comes in as far as us being a balancer of emotions. Right. And I think you guys are the balancers of just life because of the order of the things that you have to give us balance to. Because from a mental aspect, as men, and I see if Sledge agrees with this, our balance need to be in the mind to make sure everything's at peace, everything's in order, so I can do my part. Yeah. Right? Because if you don't do your part, and I'm not using it as an excuse, but let's be honest. Sometimes when you're in a house with someone, their ways can affect you in so many different ways, right? If it's a piece, and speak on this, Sage, how important that is. When you come back from off the road, and I'm not saying you tell your wife what your expectations, but what are your expectations when you come on the road and you hit the door? What do you expect?
Yeah.
The first day, I got to break it down. First day is I'm expecting peace. rest. You know what I mean? Just to kind of unwind or whatever. You know. But that second day, I know it's all about whatever she got going on or whatever one of the kids got going on. Which all my kids are adults now. I don't know why I'm still living my life based on what the fuck they want. That's a whole different.
Right. They will always be.
But yeah, so that first day, like I said, I wanted to just kind of regroup, like, you know, get my mind straight, unwind from what I've been through all week. And then usually me and her gonna kick it that first night anyway. We're gonna find something to get into. And then the second day, you know, I try to take care of things around the house and shit that I've been, you know, whatever. And then that second night, the last night is usually just me and her.
Right.
How long have you been driving? How long have you been doing? How long have you all been doing this? Because I'm ex-military. I was a military brat. And the soldier with the spouse, that's us. Like, what we doing? How long we gonna be deployed? How long? So, how long have y'all been doing this?
Okay, so actually, I started driving at 96 when my oldest two we weren't even married yet. We didn't get married until 99. So my oldest two, we had those two first before we got married, and they were still babies when I started driving. So all in all, I've been doing this for like. I want to say 25 years.
So this has been you all's way of life for 25 years. So pretty much your entire marriage, you've been on the road or
right.
And again, with a military mind, I can understand that because, you know, deployment and stationed somewhere else, and, you know, I can kind of understand it, but everybody cannot handle that type of. Everybody can handle. So that brings me to this question.
Okay.
What keeps your focus? I would love to ask Tiffany at some point too, but you know, what keeps that focus? Being that you all are separated often, you know, a lot. What keeps that?
How does one man stick it now?
Back to the house.
Not sticking down penis in other holes of pleasure.
That's not where I was going.
I know. I just kind of did the explicit.
Yeah, you did. But yeah, you can answer here second if you like, Vince. But what I'm and that comes back to who she is and what caused you to even focus that way in the first place.
Yeah.
So what keeps that focus?
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I'll be 100% honest. What keeps me focused on taking care of what I got to take care of is the fact that I will never, ever, to the day I die, stop trying to impress her. That's nice. Just what it is. It's been that way since the 5th grade, and it's gonna be that way when I'm in the funeral home. You know,
okay.
You're gonna be laid that casket sharp. I hope my baby's looking.
Exactly. Damn. And I hope my boy's watching because I don't want nobody else near her. But yeah.
Oh, man, you must well get it up. But you know what though? Right. I'm gonna be quiet because I'm gonna say I can't say that because I don't know. I ain't heard nothing after Martin passed. I only never heard Coretta got down, get down. You know what I mean?
Oh, if she did, we don't know about it.
We sure don't. She kept that quiet, but you're right.
Hey, that's a hard act to follow when your ex-husband Martin Luther King is like that. Like nobody else would be able to say, "Dude, you said that weak ass." Look, dude, you said that weak ass speech. My ex-husband now he's laid down back in DC. Right. What you talking about? You ain't talking about nothing.
You call that a sermon? Do you know it?
Do you know my husband was Malcolm? Oh yeah.
Right. It's just that simple for me, man. I'll never stop trying to impress her. I'll never stop trying to be in the man in her eyes. You know.
That's all right.
I mean, I know I fall short sometimes, but it is what it is. It's just life.
Mm-hmm. He said he wears shorts sometimes, not always pants, ladies. He did not say he fell short. Okay, he wears shorts. All right. Somebody gonna twist it. I told you what she
right. I know it. Look, somebody put in there not visiting a lot.
Me too. He was talking too much good stuff. There you go. We got him, girls. And here comes the internet of female internet of black women coming down the board.
I want to say a little side note to that.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Even if in life, in relationships, and things happen, I'm an advocate when two can come back together. And I'm not saying, Vince, this is your situation. I'm just saying it just gave me a thought to think on. When two can come back together after a mistake or after a situation where they shouldn't have been involved in, and you can come back together and work that out, gives a damn what other people think. That's you and yours. What y'all can do and what y'all do to make that thing work, because family is not just about the two. There's children, there's nieces, there's nephews, there's people that are involved that are looking, and they need that example to know. I always think it's very important. I'm sorry, y'all, very important for children to see us have conflict.
Yes.
Not just see us have conflict, but see us work it out and see how you can work that thing out and come back together. And it doesn't mean it's the end of the world.
Yeah, conflict resolution. I think that is one of the things that we're definitely missing, especially in the youth. No one knows conflict resolution like at some point. So it's definitely important to at least implant that in children inside of the house. Go ahead, Vince. I know you might be going to say something.
Oh no. I was just gonna say, to answer, what was that proverb you dropped a minute ago? How does thou keepeth thy penis?
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is from the book of Mark, M-A-R-Q, not M-A-R-K, right? How thou with one not stuffeth thou penis in the hole of pleasure.
Oh shit! That's a good one, man. That's a good one.
Right.
But hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. I've made my share mistakes early on. I made my share mistakes. And then one day I realized that, the shit just wasn't worth it. Yeah. I thought about what I had to lose. And I thought about the fact that I have two daughters that are women now, and I wanted them to learn how they should be treated.
Okay.
By watching me. You know what I mean? By watching how I treated their mom. So I she forgave me a few times, and we had our little situations or whatever, but
Right.
I'm sick of me too, Corey.
I'm sick of you, Corey.
Right. It's Book of Mark, M-A-R-Q. You know what I'm saying? Verse 1, chapter 1, scripture 1. But look, so
Vince, I want to say thank you for that honesty and transparency.
Yeah, I'll just get
because when people are trying to learn how to have healthy relationships, they got to know it ain't all peaches and cream. It ain't all roses.
Right.
Stuff happens. Stuff happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, look, one of my old classmates just popped up in here, Ronald Green, man. I don't know if you remember Ronald Green. I told you. Yeah. I hadn't seen Ronald Green in so long, man. That's my boy.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Also, I want to hit on this point too. Honestly, fellas, especially married fellas, or anybody that's telling somebody they with them. Okay, let's just say that. Or you really feel for this one, you feel like she's the one, or possibly the one. Whenever you get ready to come into that standpoint where you feel like you almost about to make the decision, and it may not work all the time, but I'm gonna tell you, it's worked for me before. Understand it's all a mirage, right? If you got somebody at the house holding you down, what you see that comes across you will not be 9 times out of 10 be what you think it is, right? I have a theory, and I say this, and I said this before, and I keep saying it. Out of 10 women, there's only 2 worth dealing. So you got to realize that when you're with, and out of the 2, one of them might not even work, right? So look at your percentages, look at your chances, right? So realize that if you see something that comes across you and it looks tantalizing, then understand that might be the 9 that you didn't like before you found the one you got. If you look at it from that perspective, then you don't want to lose out what you got like that, because you might end up getting painted rock.
Yeah.
Think it's gold.
Painted rock.
Right. Right. So okay. So Donna, No, Vince, go ahead. You got a question, bro. I know you said you had another question. I want to get back to you.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I have another one. It's more of a I guess it's a true or false.
Okay.
People in general have nowadays. People in general have less patience and are more stressed than they've ever been before. Is as being the reason why a lot of dates, dating or relationships don't work
Yes,
because
Yeah.
people have a lot less patience and are more stressed than ever.
Yeah, I agree. I would say true to that. There's again, you have so many options but yeah, a lot less patience. And look, again, I'm all about truth and transparency. My patience, my sister she used to tell me, and things have gotten different. And again, when I sat on somebody's couch and I realized some things about myself, I realized why my patience was so short and why she was like, "You don't give a brother a chance." He made one mistake and that's it. And I'm like, "Cause I don't have time." But at the end of the day, that doesn't turn out the best. When you're protecting yourself and you're pushing everybody away, you end up not getting what it is that you need and what you actually want. So yeah,
And you know what? I'm sorry, but I do gotta. Okay, look. Before I do that, I'm gonna parking lot that question I had to ask Donna. But I'm gonna say this. I think patience is at an all-time low. Right. I feel
Right.
social media is the new lounge. It's the new club. You
really?
don't gotta put no clothes on. Right. You get the right angle. You get the right picture. You're winning. Right.
Right.
The
You know
right
what I mean?
filter. The right
Right.
filter.
In the right damn filters. Right. So you think you winning, but at some point you got to get behind that computer, right?
Yeah.
You better, or you better make them get back behind that computer. They're gonna be like Penny on Good Times when Michael came to the door and he was on the CB and she came with a wheelchair. I'm not laughing at anybody that's in the wheelchair, but what I'm saying to you is that you don't want to have to go and bank on something you can't see. And I'm gonna say this for all the fellas out there: if she ain't got if she don't have no pictures of what she's showing full body, bruh, something wrong. All right, and I'm gonna leave that alone right quick. But look, so check this out.
Same thing, ladies.
So
Same thing, ladies. Check that.
Okay.
That entire up and down.
Right. Well, I can't speak on that. I don't know about that. I'm glad you plugged that for the ladies.
That's why I said ladies.
Right. Yeah. No Diddy. so look. So check this out. So check this out, Donna. My question to you is: here's why I can't never understand, especially as women, for women that, because I've heard fellas say this, especially for women that actually get on these sites, right? They want men, right, and then they want a date, right? So why is it that women say that they're ready to be in a relationship, right? But they always say, "Well, I'm busy," or "I'm too busy to do this," or "I'm too busy to do that." Like, what kind of advice would you give women that get on these sites and they go out and then they say they're busy? Like, what can you say, or what is your opinion on stuff like that? And have you ever heard of that?
So first thing I'm gonna say is she's just not into you.
Okay.
I hear what you're saying. So everybody that comes at you, even though a woman may dress up, doll herself up, being on the site or being out, everybody that comes her direction is not always what she's looking for, or she was hoping to come her direction. But I do say, know thyself, ladies. Know exactly what it is that that you're looking for and that you actually really want.
Look at your son in the background back there.
Yeah, I see him.
Coming like JJ. Dynamite. Go ahead.
I knew he was gonna come out eventually. Right. This is why the studio is necessary. So I don't want to disturb him, he won't disturb me.
Right.
Know thine own self. Like, if you're doing all of this, but again, it just, the only thing I can think of with that, what stands out mostly with that is she's just not, whoever that guy is, that's not who she was hoping that would come up to her or that would respond to her. She's just not that into you.
Right. Okay. So I'm gonna say this. Yeah, I definitely agree with that part. But what I'm saying, there's a lot of women. They say, what about the women that say who haven't even got the chance to even know the person? Right? Because there are certain. This is just from other guys. I mean, yes,
Okay.
I do agree that about that part. But some people feel. I think that I'm gonna cover the other side. I think that when it comes to women and or men, but women in this case, I say in that case, I think some people like the idea of a relationship, but for whatever how their life is operating, they might not really have time for it. They try to cram it in with everything else, right? And so that's the other side, that just hearing from other men and seeing other sites, and probably being a victim at one point of being that type of guy. Because yes, I do feel like yes, there's a side where she may not be into you, but I also think that there's a group of people, but in this case, women, may want to go out on dates and make themselves available for a split second, but then they get back in the whirlwind of life, right?
Yeah.
So that's that side pretty much I kind of wanted to expose too, because and men, if you're not even, you can't be on a dating website if you broke. Let's say that's another one. You ain't ready.
You shouldn't be.
Shut the shop down for a minute. They ain't going nowhere, bro. Believe me, they ain't never going nowhere. You can take a 15-year break. If it's hey, look, if it's in you ain't gotta worry about it. You'll pick it right back up. So take a break, bro. Sit on the sidelines for a minute.
Hey, verse 2 in the book of Mark: thou shalt need to be able to feed it thyself,
right?
To feed somebody else.
So
feed yourself, bro.
So Dawah don't have to lay on the couch of others.
There you go.
And play video games.
Right. Hey, how you gonna take a woman on a date and you eating out of Quick Trip 5 days a week, nigga?
Oh man, I'm glad them hot dogs are good though. But yeah, I can only get one of them every 6 months.
I have to limit that shit, man. I have to limit that.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so look.
Yeah. In all seriousness on that, yeah. Two perspectives. She just not that into you. And second one, girl, stop playing.
Yeah,
if you're not ready.
I've heard in the past I was trying to squeeze him into my time. It wasn't because I was not interested.
I mean, that's a reality.
Yeah, I like when people self accountability, right?
Yeah.
At least he's accountable for it, because some people make up all kinds of stuff, of why whatever, right? I have a hard time saying no. The women are too pretty sometimes. Yeah. So
you better see it with a makeup off, sir.
Right. So do you have any more questions? I got something else for y'all too.
Okay. So yeah, this I can kind of stop with this last one with this one. This is for married and single men. Like,
go ahead.
If you could think of one, maybe two things that you want us as women to know in a real relationship. Yeah, y'all need to marinate on it. What do you want women to know? What is it that y'all want us to know? Single and married. What do y'all want us to know?
Go ahead, Vincent, as the guest.
I'm thinking, man. I'm thinking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
I got one. Okay, this is what I want women to know. One, I would like, just from the standpoint of, let's just say from the process of dating, right? The starting, right? I want women to understand and be honest of where you are, right? Where you are, and realizing that wherever you've been, you can change the course by changing your mentality, right?
Damn.
Right, and stop blaming others. You feel me?
Damn,
you know what I'm saying? I think I would like women to know that, right? That's coming from the beginning stages of even getting dating right now, and marriage, right? I would probably being married at one point. I would want women to know that the most important thing to us is allowing us to work in the greatness that you have chosen us to be, because it's your choice, right? Allow us to work in what we're supposed to do and carry forth by creating, and I know we say this a lot, but I'm gonna say it a little slightly different, but the same, to create an environment so that we both can live in harmony. Most people like to use the word peace, right? Yeah, peace, harmony, and justice for all. You know what I mean? Just to be for everybody. So I want married women to realize that that's probably the number one thing we want you to know, so we can be in our greatness.
Can I add a verse to the book of Mark?
Huh?
How the fuck am I follow that, Mark?
I don't know, man. I ain't saying you can follow it by telling me. You got daughters. What would you want her to know?
First of all,
or stay on however you want to roll, because you got something.
As far as the daughters, their daddy ain't a damn ATM. But no, my wife. I guess the one thing I would like my wife to know.
There you go.
Yeah, is the importance of just like personal touch, just like. You know what I mean? That intimacy, not because she think it's all about me chasing after because I want sex or whatever. Yeah, that too. But sometimes,
and you do, but yeah,
but yeah, sometimes it's just to acknowledgement, that I'm in the room.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
How about that? Let's start right there. Yeah.
You definitely you
that's
want
good.
Right. You want a man likes to know that you feel his presence.
Yes.
And I would add, and I think, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, that he's wanted and desired as well.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And the main thing is to desire to be acknowledged again in the presence. You know what I'm saying? Like that makes us that strokes the ego. Right, because if you ain't stroking it, somebody gonna stroke it, and when we get to stroking, guess what? Bad business.
Stroke it, ladies.
Right.
Stroke it, ladies.
It's a lot of volunteers out there, sir.
Right.
Yeah. It's a revolving reciprocation.
Right.
Revolving reciprocation.
That's right.
The expectation that they do it all and hold it. I love the fact of pampering and spoiling my man. I love that. The smile on his face, like when the chest rise up and the shoulders, because I said something or did something, and that brother walking a little higher, and I love that.
Nigga walking through the house like a Clydesdale. This nigga ain't stumped that loud ever. That nigga ain't never stumped that loud. House. Right. So okay, so look, check this out before we end. I want to go do this right here. So I always like to run these back, and we got a single mother in the house, y'all. Guess what? So I did this thing. I always do the top 10. So I'm gonna bring another top 10. Now I got one for you. We got a single mama right here, and I found this one right. Let me make sure these are right, because I don't want to. Okay, I think these slides. Yes, these slides are correct. So look, so check it. I'm gonna do this one right here, y'all. We're gonna do a top 10 real quick. This is gonna be things to consider when dating a single mother. All right, this is for the fellas out here, and then I'm gonna run them through. And we got a single mama in the house, right? And then let me ask you a question. Vince, did you? Okay, so do you? All your children are by your wife, or does she have any children that are?
No. I have 4 with my wife, and I have one with that I had before I got married. So I got 2 daughters. I have my oldest daughter is with another lady.
Okay, but all her kids you guys had together. She don't have any kids outside. Okay.
No.
All right, great. So check it, and then you can give me your thoughts on this too. And Donna, especially for you, because you're a single woman, right? So I'll pull this one up. So the top 10. So basically, what the top 10 is, again, these are not what I feel is like 1 through 10. These are some I saw in a magazine or read some articles or what, and I said, these are very intriguing. So these are the top 10 things you to consider while dating a single woman. Boom. Children come first.
I agree.
Children come first. Explain that to the fellas who want to marry or date a single mother. Things to consider when dating a single mother. Number one, again, children come first. Donna, go ahead and jump on that one and see how important that is.
Children come first. Very important, but two different perspectives again.
Okay.
Single, my children come first because I am the one who's taking care of them. I'm the one that's providing for them. So my time that I can give to you has to be understood that this Negro is in the band. He played for the high school. He played for the Falcons. He played for church, rehearsals, whatever. Does not mean that I don't have my time, but we have to. There has to be an understanding of that time, how that time looks, and consider that time. Second part of it, children come first as a wife, a husband and wife dynamic. No, the hell they don't. No. Your husband comes first.
That's right.
Your husband comes first. Listen, I hear women say this all the time. Ain't no man gonna come for my baby, whatever. That baby gonna leave you and go do their thing in life. And you sitting there looking at that man that you don't even know, that you put those children before him, and now y'all disconnected. I get that you had them, you birthed them, but it either required him or he's the man in place of the man that helped you get them.
Right.
So Vince, let me ask you a question. With your situation, having a child before marriage, like how were you able to? How did that dynamic work? Was it difficult, or did you have to set rules and parameters to make sure it didn't disturb the house? How did you do that?
It wasn't difficult. Difficult because, like I said, she's always been a nurturer. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how I knew she would be a good mom. And
hey, my girl Tiff. I don't even know
now it was some outside bullshit, with family and stuff like that. But we worked past all that. You know what I mean? So it wasn't hard. So
was there any challenges with the mother of your child, or did she give you any? Okay. Yeah. And so how were you able to kind of keep it, protect the house? Like, what did you do to kind of make sure it didn't impede it? Because I've been in a situation marrying a woman with a child. Mine was a little bit more with children. Mine was a little bit more different. And so I didn't really have to deal with a whole lot on that end. But how did you deal with that for you?
Okay, so I was able to show her, meaning my daughter's mom, that I was going to consistently be dedicated to my daughter and not her. I think she knew. I think we both knew that wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
And then once I got married, she really knew. So that's when the shenanigans started. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But by being consistent, what I mean by that is I had to show her that this is my house. This is my my wife over here, and whatever the hell you got going over there does not concern us. You know what I mean? I didn't let it in. I didn't let it in. And like I said,
that's right, sir.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's the man that sets. It's the man that sets the tone for all of that.
Right.
I don't know how fool she acting, how much she want to yell, and when you can't see your baby, blah 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 blah. Okay, ma'am, go have several seats. I got this.
Right.
Several seats. So things to consider when dating a single mother. Number one, children come first. Number two, she's a busy lady. Let me start. You got to understand that when you're dating a woman that has children, she's busy, right?
Yeah.
Man, we will not. And Don, you can speak on this, but I'm gonna say this: she shalt not, especially in the beginning. Another chapter of the Book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 3. Thou should not put dicketh in before children, right? She should not put dicketh in before children, right?
Right.
Book of Mark, verse 3. And so basically, don't think that just because you are like you want to get to know her, understand that the children they're gonna she's busy, right? She's running the house, she got to go to work, she is not going to be able to just drop what she's doing into, you haven't earned that, first of all, especially in dating, you haven't earned it, right?
Yeah.
And so don't expect that she's supposed to drop what she's doing because she has children. She's going to have to work with it. You got two choices, either work with it or work without it.
Yeah,
Donna, go ahead and touch on that.
If you earned it, that means you're going to alleviate some of that. Busy. You're going to help. If you earned it, you're in a position where you're alleviating some of that.
Go.
Right.
You alleviate some of that pressure from her. And just a key note, busy might mean I'm asleep. I want to take a nap.
She's busy sleeping. All right.
I want to take a nap. Like he got a football game in the band and he gonna be gone to about 2 a.m. because it's an away game and they got to get back and put up instruments.
Right.
And I'm asleep until that brother get home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm busy. Sleep.
Right. He said, if children come first, why date it all? This dude right here tripping, man. Hey, go ahead. You want to touch on that?
Oh, go ahead.
That men have to consider that.
I can relate to what she's saying about being, the time management and all that. But I was hands-on with my kids, man. So I tried to take away some of that shit that she had to do, take some of that stuff off of her plate as much as I could, but I'm not there all the time. So, stuff like doctor's appointments and stuff like that, I tried to take care of most of that. I tried to.
Right.
Just to give us more time to be able to, to kick it or whatever on our own. And as far as the kids coming first, in a marriage, I guess that's a little bit different because the mates are going to come first. I think the best thing that me and my wife done in the last 10, 15 years, we put a fucking lock on our bedroom door. Once that lock's turned, we don't give a fuck. Unless the house is on fire, we don't give a fuck about what's going on out there.
Right.
I don't give a fuck.
You better put it out. You better put that fire before it get to this room.
This room is fireproof. The room is fireproof. Whatever y'all got going on there, y'all better deal with it.
That's right.
But why date if the children come first? We still grown.
Right.
We still have needs and desires and wants, and it's not always about the children, but we need someone to be able to understand that.
Yeah. And Vince definitely made a great point when he said she's a busy lady. Fellas, understand she's a busy lady that she ain't gonna, some nights you might have to cook your own damn food. Let's be fair.
Exactly.
Let's be fair. Right. Let's be fair. You might have to go get dinner and bring it to her. You know what I mean? You can't always, you can't remember if a woman is working, you got to also consider if you're working, she's working, especially if she's working, fellas. I mean, really, that's a hard one right there. Your expectation levels of what you may need to, if you want her to step up in a certain area, well, you may need to step up too, because you're working, you better step up, then maybe she'll step up, right? So let's kill that, right? That's for the fellas that's married, right?
You want her children come first. Why even go? Why are you dating her?
Right. Absolutely. She might need emotional support sometimes. Understand when you're dating a woman that things to consider while dating a single mother, that she might need emotional support sometimes. Understand that, fellas. Now, what type of let's do it. Speak on that, Donna, as far as what is emotional support? Give us examples of how we can show emotional support, not just for overall for women. It may be individual for each person, but what does that look like? What's emotional support? Your definition.
Overall, we're not just talking about the questions for the single mom, and we're talking about overall.
Basic. Right, because we have to define what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? For fellas can do it to consider when they dating. What does that look like?
So emotional support looks like, I definitely believe understanding that I am a female. Mm-hmm. I'm different from you. Mm-hmm. I'm more emotionally built and grounded. I have a maternal instinct, so I see things in a different manner than you do. So overreacting to you may not be overreacting to me. Emotional support looks like whatever I'm dealing with, to have some space to deal with that. Mm-hmm. It hurts so much when you can't deal with your real stuff with the person that you're with without being shut down. Give me room to deal with that. Even if you think I'm wrong, give me room to deal with that. Because guess what? I'll listen to you a bit better after I know you've heard my emotional breakdown or my emotions being heightened, or I may have raised my voice a little bit or whatever, and it's not necessarily directed at you. And the return action of, you don't yell at me, I'm not your child. Yes, sir, you're not my child, but I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed right now, and you're adding to it. The reaction shouldn't be, well, stop acting like a child. But I'm be the first to say, I've said it. You don't treat you like my child. Stop acting like one. Not saying it was right. Not saying the response was right, because then now it's a push and pull. But understand that we have emotions. We have to deal with them, because if we don't, what's going to happen is, the reason why we're dealing with them now is because as children, they were suppressed. We couldn't deal with those emotions because you don't talk back. You don't say this. You don't do that. You don't have feelings. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Go sit down. You got to understand the era that we came from too. So now, even male and female, boys don't cry. I cannot stand to hear a parent in my daycare center say, boys don't cry. Don't you cry, boys cry. Really? Because you have tear ducts. And God created in you a pathway to release some tears. So if boys don't cry, take that up with the Father, because He created that. So boys do cry. It releases emotion. It releases stress. It releases. So just side note, I just can't stand to hear that.
Yeah. Even as a grown man, like, have I ever cried before? Have I experienced crying? Yeah, I have. But sometimes it is a release valve. Now, with that being said, there's responsibility in cries too, dudes. Now, and we sit right here crying all goddamn time, right?
Yes. We don't want to look at you sideways, bro. You crying again? What
you kind of right.
Understand the root source of that. Understand the root source of that.
I always say,
room to have our emotions.
Vince, I always say, you got a couple cries in you, right? You got one for when you cheat the first time, right? You got to cry then. Then you got another cry just in case you may messed up and you want to sort of little. But the third one, that's it, bro. You ain't got but three.
That's all you got, my friend.
You got three cries. Better use them goddamn cries wisely, goddamn. Use the cries wisely.
Your ass, you keep sitting around crying the Tyler Perry movies, and y'all gonna have a problem.
Right. The kids might not like you at first. Realize that the kids might not like you at first. When you're dating a single woman, things get sooner while they understand that you remember, you're the stranger danger, man.
Yeah.
Right. Especially little boys, right? Look, I had a single father. I had a stepfather, and I remember my mom having boyfriends. Right, you do, like, as a young man, we the bodyguards. Like, what you come around here for? You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't gonna like the new dude that trying to smash mom, right? I'm sorry for trying to date mom or court mom. Like we're the guard dogs, fellas. You know what I'm saying? And Donald, let me ask you a question. Is your son a guard dog? Like, dating, is he like, hey mom, who this is? Is he the father now?
Oh, nephew? Most definitely. Most definitely. We were at the car wash one time real quick. I was washing the truck, and this guy came up, and he was like, oh, that's a nice truck. The Ram, it got it purple, and that's a nice truck. And nephew kind of looking like, he was like, why are you washing this? You don't have nobody washing it for you? This brother standing over there like, you don't see me? I'm washing.
I'm washing.
I got it. And then he like, auntie, who was that? You know who that is? No, okay, and I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is.
Right.
But yeah. But a pen real quick. unless you know and y'all have made a decision to be together and move this thing forward, your children have no business being involved. And I said, being involved. Being involved. All of that, when we getting to know each other, and we want to see if the kids like each other, and the kids, no.
Man.
That's situations that's put on children.
Right.
And then say, for instance, they like the person, and y'all don't make it, and y'all realize it's a difference in building a relationship and surface level. And dang, he like video games. Why you ain't? Or he like to play ball. Like, why you ain't? Don't bring the children into adult situations.
My daughter. Hey, shout out Greta Mason. Yeah, shout out Greta Mason. Guess what? Everybody, we on Facebook. Mark Weeby. You can go ahead to tune on there. But yeah, shout out to everybody that's on YouTube too as well. Vince, how did your other kids? Now, how did your child that was not by your wife take into your wife? How that was an easy transition between the two?
Easy, bro. Easy.
Good. That's great. That's great because that's a hard thing. But like that's a hard thing to try to get along with somebody else's kids.
Yeah, no doubt.
When you're integrating families, you know what I mean?
Especially when they're older. When they're older. Because my oldest is 32. My daughter is 27. So you know, it's been a cycle of some years of you know being single and dating, you know, several relationships, dating things, and they come straight up with it. My son will be like, "Who is this clown? Like, why are you wasting your time?" Like,
Right. Kids might not like you. Things to consider while dating them. 5. It's best to avoid conflict with her ex. Fellas, listen. You don't know what's been going on, especially in the beginning. When you need to consider that it's best to avoid any. You don't know the full story of what you get into.
Yeah.
Right. You want to try to avoid by not allowing that. First of all, when you meet a woman, you just, especially when y'all are in a state of dating, because yes, in the beginning, no, but at a certain point, dating, which is gathering information, you're going to meet the child at a certain point. Understand, stay out of the conflict of that, right? You don't know what is being until you figure out what the message is from her to him, or vice versa. Sit back and just pay attention and don't be involved in something because you like somebody.
Observe. That's right. That's right.
Right.
You
because
you watch them walk away together after that.
Don't jump on the wrong side because you don't know. And that may be something you need to pay attention because you might be dating the wrong person. Because you don't know how that person gonna act. Go ahead, Vince.
You might be next, bro.
Yeah, you might be next. So you gotta consider stay away from conflict because you don't know what's going on. Right. And that's your son. And usually you don't know if that man, the worst thing that ever happened, in a lot of cases, and again, I always say this, women and money are the two things that niggas fight and kill over, right? Money and women. So you got to also pay attention that, because I know of a personal situation where someone visited a young lady at one point, and her baby's father came over to the house, and she had someone that was visiting her, right? She had someone that was visiting her, a gentleman, right? And so the father, the baby daddy, I use that word, but the damn baby daddy, because it's foolishness he did, but the baby daddy came over to the house, and there was a gunfire, or there was some shooting back and forth between the baby daddy and the baby mama, and you can imagine the dude that was in the house, right? It was a man in the house going to see the woman, right?
Right.
And so he ends up killing her. Obviously, the dude, he runs out, he gets shot. Unfortunately, the other part of it is the man was married, right? So the man that was killed was married by the baby daddy. You see what I'm saying? He was married, and they found him with his pants turned backwards. He was trying to get out the damn door.
That ain't funny, Mark.
I'm sorry, but what I'm saying to you is that, you know, God bless the dead. But what I'm saying is, you know, be careful of conflict because you don't know what you're stepping into. And don't be
No.
quick to be so quick to put your cape on to save situations and thinking that you
Right.
have an opinion over something that you don't even know, and that's
Yeah.
somebody
Right.
else's child. That's
Yeah.
somebody else's child. Let's move to the next one, y'all. Boom. It's been okay. Okay, it's okay to be honest with your needs, right? Just for fellas. It's okay to let that person know within reason that you have certain needs and wants. For her to realize what's going on too, because she can get busy. She can get, in her space, right? And I'm gonna start from the marriage perspective, right? How do you relate if you feel like your needs aren't being met? How do you relay that to your wife, Vince? Like in those cases,
You gotta communicate, man. You gotta
right?
communicate. You gotta have adult conversations about that shit. And when I first got married, I might have taken a different approach, and that didn't help my cause because it was always, a slick comment or an attitude or whatever. You know what I mean? But as I've gotten older and I guess I'm an OG in this shit. You just gotta talk, man. You gotta talk it out. You gotta talk it out. My wife is a talker anyway, and like when you talking about the emotional support, that's basically it, man. I just gotta listen to her.
Right.
She got going on. I just gotta shut up and listen. She don't always want my solution or my opinion. She just want to know that I heard her, And the same goes for her. Same goes for her. We gotta have that line of communication.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, go ahead. You want to speak on that part right there, as far as like, be it like how important for you to know when those situations, how is that important to you, so you can adjust? How important is that to you? That is, God should let you know about his needs.
For him to wanting him to be honest with what he needs.
Yeah, because sometimes we suppress things as men.
Yeah.
Right. And then we start to kind of act out and do certain things because we don't want to, whatever. Right. Men, we're not the best communicators. I hear that. Right. So,
right.
So tell me how important that is for you to, for them to do that.
It's important to know his needs, because just like men don't want to go into a guessing game, we don't want to do that either.
Right.
You have to have some emotional maturity to understand what he says his need is. And it may seem crazy to you, or it may seem like, but of course you got to know the levels of where you are in the relationship and where this is. But it's important to know what his needs are, because for one, you got to even know if you can meet those needs.
Facts.
If you can meet those, if it's in your scope of time and attention and just what you desire, what you want, you got to be able to give. People always think because they want something, that means the other person should have the capacity to accommodate them. We don't always have the capacity to give people what they need. And the right thing and the fair thing to do is to say, hey, I understand X, Y, Z, and at this time, or that's not for me. I wish you the best in what it is that you're looking for. But it's important for him to be honest. For me, I want a man to be honest. I hear men say, women say they want us to be honest, but they don't really want us to be honest. Let me explain to y'all what that means, though. Let me explain to you what it means. Even though I don't like what you just told me, my emotional maturity has to accept what you just told me.
Right.
I might not like it. You may see a space, or I may have a comment or whatever, which I get, makes it even harder. But that's you allowing me to have my emotion. That's allowing me to have my emotion about it. But be honest with me. Give me the opportunity to make a decision on what you just told me, what you've given me. And again, a woman's response may be emotional. She may not like it. She may have some tears. She may show some frustration. But at the end of the day, me personally, I want you to be honest with me.
Transparency. So key.
It gives us both the opportunity to see if this can progress. If you're holding things and hiding things, especially your feelings, because I can be honest and say, my personality type sometimes, the gentleman that I may be with, he'll be overly accommodating. And he's overly accommodating because I'm going to present to you what it is that I want to receive. And he may not have the capacity to be in that position. So if you don't know how to say no to your woman, you are jeopardizing the longevity of your relationship.
Yeah, because y'all need to be told, sit your ass down.
I have to
But
agree.
you gotta earn right,
and
and you gotta earn that too. That ain't for everybody.
yeah,
You gotta earn it.
yeah.
Caring for her kids is good. Understand that if she take, and that's one. I'm gonna just touch on that real fast. That it's a good sign because there's a line between spoil and taking care. Like listen. The worst thing I don't because I'm gonna touch that, but I'm gonna say this: the worst thing for me is just a bit like, especially dating somebody that have children and men alone, and I'm sure even married men feel it, where we feel like sometimes you guys over nurture the young man, over nurture him. So there's this line, fellas, between taking care of them and spoiling them, right? To a point where they're not learning anything. So I do. So sometimes as men in those cases, we look at it as being spoiled when she's just taking care of the children, right? Now, there are times where I feel like I've been in a situation where I've dated a woman that has children, and the way that it makes me feel it made me feel a certain kind of way, but the way that she pacifies, especially young men, I do get offended because it bothers me so much to see that. I don't know why I haven't been. I've learned to let it go and just drop nuggets and just move on.
Gotcha. More than likely, she's trying to fill in some gaps. And although it's not, thank you, overcompensate. Right. And although it's not healthy and it's not helping him, still I stand by the position: a woman cannot teach a boy how to be a man. She's going to come from a maternal instinct. She's going to come from that softer side, which is why there should be a balance. There has to be a balance. There should be a balance. I'm not saying 2-parent households always turn out the best for the children. Because my ex-husband and I, we were there. We were married. My son went off to college and we were still married. But there was some stuff that should have been dealt with and taken care of that they had to take on in their lives when they left, when they grew, whatever. But I totally believe if we go with the concept that God created, man and woman creating life and togetherness, it works when we work it the proper way. But she's overcompensating. Thank you, Vince. She's overcompensating for something more than likely for him. Other than that, you just making them rotten and no good for the world. I told my ex-husband with my daughter, she was constantly on his shoulders and she was daddy's girl to the heart. And I love it. But I said, but don't make my daughter no good for this world. She still needs to know how to sustain and maintain for herself. Right. Just like I did, just like he did. But yeah, she's more than likely overcompensating. But yeah, them bratty ones, ooh-wee.
Vince, you got something to speak on that as far as or do you see where sometimes it gets missed as far as her caring for the children and the spoiling? Like, have you ever got into a situation at any point where you feel like, man, like that person may be like spoiling the child or ruining the child, and how do you correct it as a father?
Oh yeah. Initially, well, my oldest is my oldest son. So when he was born, she treated him like a baby doll. You know, dressed him. Sometimes this boy changed outfits 3-4 times a day before he could even walk. So when it got to the point where he got older and it was time for me to discipline him, she tried to intervene a few times, you know what I mean, and which caused conflict between me and her. Until finally one day she realized, hey, I'm not a man. I have to let my husband take over this part. You know what I mean? So yeah, we got past it. But as far as spoiling, yeah, I spoil the shit out of my kids. I already know, and I'm dealing with that now. My oldest two, my older two have moved out. And I think their main goal, even though I spoiled my daughter like really, really bad, but their main objective is not to come back home. Okay, that's their thing. They're gonna stay out there and prove to me that they can make it. My younger two, I don't know what it's gonna take to get them out of the house.
I always say make him uncomfortable, boy. I used to make it so uncomfortable for my son.
I don't know. I'm saying, Daddy just said he spoiled him.
Right.
I did, man. I did it.
All right. So number 8, boom. Helping her unwind makes a difference. So speak on that. How can a man help you unwind? Like, I understand these something you got to consider is helping her unwind makes a difference in how she can best cater to you. Go ahead and speak on, especially as a woman. I want to hear your thoughts on that. Unwinding. So we're gonna spend about yeah. So go ahead. We're gonna spend a couple minutes on this one, but I definitely like to hear from you, Donna, as far as what does that look like? What's unwind? How can a man help you unwind? It's a personal question. You, Donna.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I want just some time to myself to decompress. I need people all day.
Okay.
All day.
Okay.
So my thing is, I need at least 30 minutes, sometimes to an hour, where you just handling things out here. Like there's no knocking on the door. There's no, hey, what you, because I have people all day pulling and asking and pulling and asking. So for me, I want to come unwind for about 30, 45 minutes before there's, any interaction. Like I think that's a good decompression time. After that, I need you all over me. I do. I need you all. I missed you. Let's go handle this. I need that time. I need that attention. I want it. I desire it. I need it. Yeah. That be in my face.
Right.
Just let me decompress. Help me to be at the house and come in and know that, man, that brother downstairs. And unwinding might be, getting a little cute, getting ready, taking a nice shot. But and at the same time, that's giving him space to do the same thing.
Right.
That's giving him space to do the same thing. Because we forget time is individual. It's an individual thing. It's not always.
Absolutely. And so I probably unwind by I like documentaries. That's how pretty much I unwind. Like, what about yourself, Vince? What's some of the things you do to unwind when you come out off the road? Space. I know you said that before.
Oh yeah, fly my drone. I love flying the drone. I like golf, shit like that. But I got a little cheat code when it came to my wife because I realized that she's gonna come home every day and need to discuss the day. And some days I don't want to hear that shit.
Right. You listen to it anyway.
Yeah, I gotta listen to it anyway. But I found out that a nice hot bubble bath, I ain't gotta hear none of that shit.
That's the muzzle.
Not the muzzle.
That's the muzzle. Oh, what you talking about? Get your ass in the tub.
No, baby, I ran you a bath.
I know.
There you go.
Baby, I ran you a bath. Go in there and relax for a little bit. And you be like, whoa, she gone.
Hey, but that backfired on me though, because at one point she would come in and walk in there and look and be like, oh, you need to do it.
Boy, this one thing about it, boy. If you walk in one way, as soon as that thing starts to look like it's gonna go left or right, they be like,
wait a minute.
Right. Yeah, I'm paying attention, boy. Number 9, she should handle discipline the kids. Yeah, stay out of people. Don't be trying to whoop nobody's kids. Keep your hands off other people's kids, bro.
Yeah. That's gotta be
right. And discipline can also be a words. Sometimes you don't even need to say nothing to the child. You had earned it.
Right.
Right. She'll let you know when it's time for you to do it. Right.
Yeah.
Don't take it upon yourself to discipline nobody else's children.
Yeah. I got the boy.
Hey, so Vince, your child's mother, I hate using baby mom, but your child's mother,
Her too.
how did you feel when another man stepped in the house or if they ever stepped in the house. I don't know. I know you didn't. I mean, as far as when it came to the child, like, did you feel uncomfortable with that? How did you navigate through that in the beginning?
I just had to suck it up and realize that I wasn't in her life like that, and there's gonna be other people. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then she had 2 kids with 2 other guys too, so you know, I had to get over that shit quick.
Right.
I had to get over that shit quick.
Right. And but were you skeptical about a man coming into the house and them being around the child? Yeah.
You always are, especially when you got daughters. You know, you have to worry about shit like that. But like I said, man, I tried to leave it up to her judgment, and you know, and not step in and try, you know, because like I said, I don't pay no bills over there, so I can't, you know what I mean, tell her who she can have in and out. But I had to trust her judgment, man, as far as the type of people that she had around them.
Right. All right. So last one. Boom. She might need you to make a commitment. Some type of commitment. You know what I mean? Just understand that. Okay, so I'm gonna say this, and when I wrote this one, I said she might need you to make a commitment, meaning that being in the fact that she has all these moving parts, you got to commit to something at some level, right? Because typically, and I'm not saying all cases, if you have a single mother, at some point she's going to want to have some type of stability around the house.
Yeah.
Right. And so she's going to want to know if it's safe for you to even be that person and to commit to her what she has. But if you're acting skittish and you don't know, it's going to make the situation a lot much harder. I believe. You know what I mean? So go ahead, Don. Speak on that part real quick. As far as the commitment part, you have a child and you meet a guy, you like him, but it feels like there's no level of commitment. How does that make, in your opinion, how does that make women or you feel when you're in that situation?
I made a post on my page the other day. It might have been yesterday. And it kind of paraphrased, and it pretty much said, I have to choose wisely who I'm dating because I'm not the only one dating them. Women think about your children. Something to that effect that I put on there. But to make a commitment, there has to be.
Right.
There has to be when you move into, you know, I'm not saying put a time stamp on it. Like in 6 months, we need to be XYZ. But you can tell if a relationship is moving to something, or if it's just stagnant, or he's just wasting your time, or she's just wasting your time. There has to be a level of commitment at some point. Because as time goes on, you know, you want to be with this person and they appear that they want to be with you. So I call it that come to Jesus meeting. We got to have that come to Jesus meeting.
Yeah. Right.
That come to Jesus meeting says, this is where we are. This is who you are. Because a woman doesn't want to be going around guessing. If a man has you guessing what position you hold in his life, you know what position you hold. That's your answer. You have no position.
Right.
If you guess, you're trying to figure it out. Yeah. So at some level, at some point, you gotta speak those words. There has to be some commitment. Or if there's not, don't concern yourself when you're not the only person that I'm going out on a date with.
Right.
Because you haven't made that decision. So you leaving me to wander just like you wandering. So let's wander, and we're gonna wander away.
Yeah. Right. And simply put, for fellas who ain't really serious, you just want to date. Understand that even when you go through your rotation or your whatever you want to call it, as far as dating, understand that if you're in that space, at some point she's gonna tap you on the shoulder and want to know what we doing,
what's going on
for a security purpose. You want to speak on that real stage about fellas, for fellas realizing that. Sledge, you want to show the importance for men to understand how commitment is important?
Yes, it's very important. It's very important. Because I'm on the I got the little podcast platform, the Husband Show, with me and the other guys. And when he first started out, he had a couple guys with him, and one of the questions was, should we tailor this show towards single men? So one of the guys made a suggestion. He was like, "Fuck them. If they weren't willing to take the plunge, then they don't need to be on our shit. Fuck them." Why waste time? Why waste our time?
Decision made. Decision made.
Decision made.
Right.
Commitment.
Yeah.
Right. The
Gotta be
commitment
willing
part.
to commit, man. Or like you said, you're just wasting that woman's time. You're just wasting the time. Why are you even bothering her if you don't,
Right. If you don't want to take that thing to the next level.
Right. You can't pull the trigger. You can't pull the trigger.
Right. So that's the internet, and again, all these are up on YouTube. I have a whole bunch of top 10 ways to get over a toxic relationship, top 10 ways to know that you've been love bombed. I got so many of this on there. So this will be going up on a date night dating app. I'm actually creating that right now, plus a few more things. But just wanted to end it out, man. We right at 2 hours, man. That time be moving fast. To be honest with you. So Donna, definitely talk more about, or tell us the purpose of your platform, and then I'm gonna go to Sledge, and he's gonna tell his too as well. What's the purpose of your platform?
Okay. So the purpose of the Real Life Relationship Growth platform is to, just what it says, grow healthy relationships, knowing that there are conflicts, there are issues, there are problems, but along with that, there's also fun and fantasies being accommodated, and just love and life going on. So we don't do any bashing. We may have some posts or whatever that have jokes and things like that. But when it comes down to bashing one another, that's not what it's about. It's about building healthy, productive, growing relationships. That's all. That's what it's about. So you can find us on YouTube, Real Life Relationship Growth. Facebook is the Real Life Relationship Growth Renewed page on Facebook, with a real life relationship growth on IG. on IG. But the main place that we are is Facebook, because all the videos go to YouTube anyway. We go live on YouTube. So there you go. But
Absolutely.
And
so
I welcome people. I'm sorry, Mark, real quick. I welcome people to post. Now the posts, of course, have to go through a screening. We got to look at them. I welcome you all. Being that I've been off for about a month and a half, my inbox is booming. I have so many topics that we want to get back to, and we're going to do that. But just know, please send your thoughts, your comments, your prayers, your good energy, all of that stuff, because this ain't for the weak at heart. Healthy relationships are not from the weak at heart. You got to know how to humble yourself, how to take accountability. And I'm still a work in progress and still learning myself. So we're going to do this thing together.
Right. Great. That's dope. We're a dope platform for sure. Definitely been on a couple of shows. We did a series. I'm sure we're going to, once we get everything set back up, we'll be back at it. Sledge,
that was good.
Series, right. Hey, Sledge, tell us about your platform and the purpose. What's the purpose of it?
The purpose, okay, so mine is the Husband Show, and it's 4 of us. Actually, 4 of us. We got 3 guys in Georgia, 1 guy in Virginia. We're on YouTube, we're on all the socials, but the purpose of it is just to sit down and talk and let people know. I'll put it to you like this: it's 4 guys that got almost 100 years of marriage experience all together.
Oh wow!
You know what I mean? We got life. So just come together, man, and we put our cards on the table. We make ourselves accountable for things that we've done and things that we're trying to do, and just to teach people that, because my boy said, he felt like people were looking at marriage like it's a bad thing all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
So to show, you know, a different side to that. You know what I mean? A different side to it, and from our perspective, from the man's point of view, or whatever. But yeah, we just sit around, we talk about our experiences, man, and things that we've been through, and it's like therapy, actually. It's actually like therapy. We just talk it out, man. We talk it out. And like I said, we on all the socials. The videos are posted on YouTube, so you can find it. It's easy, and it's not just for married people. It's for anybody.
Anybody, because you got to play the part before you get the part.
Exactly.
Right,
exactly.
And so why not get the cheat code? Right.
There you go.
Why not get the cheat code? 100 years.
The Husband Show. What is the Husband Show or just Husband Show?
No, it's the Husband Show.
Husband Show.
The Husband Show podcast.
The Husband Show podcast. Yeah, right. Yeah, they come on. Hey, y'all typically come on YouTube too, right? I mean, Facebook too, right?
Facebook, yeah, on Sundays around 4 or 5, 4:35.
Okay. Right, but that's great. So definitely tune into that. Let's get the cheat code, fellas. I'll be getting the cheat code, man. I listen. I mean, I can always be better and understand. So I definitely say the purpose of my platform is actually just an open platform, and anybody can come on the platform. You got your opinions, your views, you want to vent. I mean, so many people have so many comments to say. Why on social media you can type comments all day, but learn how to articulate what it is, because honestly, you can put a post. We don't know where that stuff come from, right? So come on a platform. Come on, this platform is open. If you really got some things you want to say, you can inbox me. I'm free. We can set up a time. I plug it up. We can go. You can get it off your chest, and I won't stop you. But because you're going to be exposed anyway when you put those posts up. When people put a post, you put the comments up. People are going to already get an idea. So defend yourself. This is a good way to defend yourself. Come on over here, defend your standpoint. We'll sit around, we'll talk it out, and then let people know that you're very articulate and not a person that's copy and pasting somebody else's ideas.
Yeah, you have an original idea.
Having original ideas is all I ask. So we're on YouTube, Date Night Online. Also my Mark Weaver, most of my videos are there on my own personal page, but also on Date Night TV online on Instagram, right? Other than that, that's it, man. I appreciate y'all, man. We actually went in. I hope we got some good information out there. We did a top 10. We got some good stuff. I'm gonna chop it up, send it out, and then hopefully we're gonna get you guys in order. And for the final chapter, in the final verse of the book of Marcus, thou shalt wear a rubber when thou art using the whole of pleasure. Thou would use rubber, lambskin. All right. Other than that, man, I appreciate everybody and take care.